Hello dear students, this is a short topic related to the blood groups and blood group antigens. Uh, I'm going to specifically talk about the Landsteiner's law. So let's put the things in perspective. You know, Karl Landsteiner uh, discovered the blood groups in the year 1900, and 40 years later almost, Landsteiner and Wiener also discovered the Rh blood group system, and ever since more than 20 blood group systems have been discovered so far. The basis is presence of certain antigens on the red cell membrane and corresponding presence or absence of antibodies in the plasma of that individual. So, Landsteiner, after having discovered the ABO blood group system, he put forth this law, which we now know as Landsteiner's law. The law states, it has two parts basically. It states the law in two sentences. The first one is, if a particular antigen is present in the red cell membrane, then its corresponding antibody should not be present in the plasma of that individual. You know, antigens are on the red cell membrane and antibodies or agglutinins are present in the plasma. So, the first part of the Landsteiner's law is clear that if a particular antigen, blood group antigen, is present on the red cell membrane of an individual, then its corresponding antibody will not be present in the plasma of that individual. And the second part of the Landsteiner's law is, if a particular antigen or agglutinogen is not present, then its corresponding antibody will be present in the plasma of that individual. So this is how Landsteiner's law is described in its entirety. Let's talk about the ABO blood group system. Blood group A means antigen A. So in this individual, A antigen present on the RBCs, that means corresponding antibody, anti-A antibody or alpha antibody should not be present in the plasma of that individual. And the second part is, the particular antigen is not present. I mean, A and B, there are two antigens. So in the case of A blood group, B antigen is not present on the RBCs of that individual. So the antibody corresponding to that antigen, which is missing on the red cells, that antibody will be present in the plasma of that individual. Therefore, anti-B antibody will be present in the plasma of this individual whose blood group is A. The person is having A antigen on the RBCs. And therefore, we write the blood groups as this way. If we have to write the blood groups completely with antigens and antibodies in the plasma of the individuals, then we can write the blood groups like this: A beta, B alpha, AB and O alpha beta. Alpha is anti-A antibody, beta is anti-B antibody. So, A antigen present on the RBCs, anti-A missing from the plasma of that individual, but B antigen is not present in this person. So, anti-B antibody is present in the plasma of that individual. So, I am writing the blood groups entirely like this: A beta, B alpha. AB blood group means both antigens are present on the RBCs. So, no antibody present in the plasma, neither anti-A nor anti-B. And O blood group, no antigen I mean neither A nor B antigen present on the RBCs, and therefore both antibodies are present in the plasma. This is how we can write the blood groups completely. Now coming to the explanation. First part of the Landsener's law is fairly clear that if a particular antigen is present on the RBCs, in the RBC membrane of an individual, then the corresponding antibody will not be present in the plasma of that individual. This is quite clear, because if the particular antigen is present, then it will be recognized as self by the immune system of that individual. So, in the case of blood group A antigen present, A is recognized as self, and therefore no antibodies will be formed by the immune system of that individual. So that's fairly clear. But what about the second part? If a particular antigen is not present on the RBCs, means in the blood group A, B antigen is not present on the RBCs, the corresponding antibody whose antigen is missing from the RBCs, that corresponding antibody will be present in the plasma of that individual. Now the question is, and whole exercise is to explain the second part of Landsener's law, is from where this antibody has come into the plasma of that individual. When the antigen is missing, how is it that the corresponding antibody came? Anti-B antibody or beta antibody present in the plasma of the individual who is having A antigen and does not possess B antigen. That's why the blood group is A. So from where this anti-B antibody comes into the plasma? Well, A and B antigens are not only present on the red cell membrane, they are present elsewhere too. They are present elsewhere in the body. I mean, A and B antigens are present in the liver, in the pancreas. There are certain sections of population which are called as secretors. They secrete these blood group antigens in their body secretions like saliva. So, A and B antigens are not specific for the RBCs. These antigens are present elsewhere in the body, in other organs, and not only that, these antigens are also present in the nature, outside the body. Yes. So, consider this. A child with blood group A has been born. Now, the child will get exposed to A and B, both antigens from nature. Up to first 10 weeks of life, there are certain antibodies present in the infant, but they are mostly passively coming from the mother. From 10 weeks onward, the child will start forming the antibodies. Now, A and B antigens are present in the nature, in various substances in the nature. So, through food, through milk, through bacteria, this child will get exposed to both A and B antigens. Both these antigens are present outside the body. So, when this child gets exposed to A antigen, it will be recognized as self, and the antibodies will not be formed against A. But when B antigen enters the body, it will not be recognized as self, and antibodies will be formed against B, and therefore a person with blood group A will have anti-B antibodies in the plasma. So remember, A and B antigens are present elsewhere outside the body, and therefore when the child gets exposed to both these antigens, what is self will be recognized as self and no antibodies formed. So no anti-A antibodies in the case of blood group A, but B is recognized as non-self by the immune system, and antibodies are formed against B. So that explains the second part of the Lansenius law. If a particular antigen is missing from the RBCs of an individual, then the corresponding antibody will be present in the plasma. So from where this antibody has come? The answer was this, that these antigens are present not only on the RBCs but elsewhere also. Taking it further, this law, and particularly its second part, is applicable only to the ABO blood group system. I repeat once again, particularly the second part of this law is applicable only to the ABO blood group system. It's not applicable to RH blood group system or many other blood group systems. Let me explain this. Let's talk about the RH antigen. About 85 to 90% population is RH positive. They bear RH antigen on the RBCs, and remaining population is RH negative. Anti-RH antibody is not present on any of these. Okay, anti-RH antibody is not present in RH positive individual as well as RH negative individual. So what is the second part of Lansenius law? If a particular antigen is not present on the RBCs of an individual, then the corresponding antibody should be present in the plasma of that individual. If I am talking about RH negative individual, means RH antigen is not present on the RBCs, but anti-RH antibody also will be absent from the plasma of that individual. Remember, the antigen not present and antibody also not present. So what I'm trying to say is, RH positive individuals, they are having RH antigen since birth and it is recognized as self. So no question of forming antibodies against it. So no anti-RH found in them, in their plasma. RH negative individuals, as we are talking about the second part of the Lansenius law, no RH antigen present. They too will not have anti-RH antibodies in their plasma. Why? Because they are not exposed to the RH antigen. Let this point be clear. Look, ABO blood group system and the antibodies in the ABO blood group system are called as natural agglutinins, because in nature those antigens are present. The person is naturally getting exposed to those antigens after birth, and therefore those agglutinins are being naturally formed, anti-A and anti-B antibodies or agglutinins. Anti-RH antibody is not a natural agglutinin, it is an induced antibody or induced agglutinin, the anti-RH antibody. So RH positive individual means RH antigen since birth, it is recognized as self, and anti-RH antibody is not formed by the immune system of that individual. RH negative individuals, they don't have RH antigen on the RBC. So does the second part of the Lansenius law is applicable? It's not applicable here. RH negative individual also do not show anti-RH antibody in the plasma. Why? Because unlike the A and B antigens, RH antigen is not present elsewhere except the RBCs. RH antigen is not found in nature. It's present only and only on the RBCs. So the person who is RH negative, the child who is RH negative, is not going to get exposed after birth to Rh antigens from the nature, and therefore is not going to form anti-Rh antibodies. And therefore, remember, no person will naturally have anti-Rh antibodies in the plasma, neither Rh antigen persons nor neither Rh positive individuals nor Rh negative individuals. Well, so second part of Landsener's law is not applicable to the Rh blood group system or even M and N blood group system. M and N antigens, even if they are missing from the RBCs, their corresponding antibodies also will not be present in the plasma. And second part is not applicable. I told you the reason. Reason is this, that they are very specific to the RBCs, and therefore now it can be explained very easily. Who will have anti-Rh antibodies in the plasma? Which person will have anti-Rh antibody in the plasma? Answer is very obvious. An Rh negative individual receiving Rh antigen, and we have already said that Rh antigen is present only at one place, that is on the RBC membrane. So Rh negative individual getting exposed to Rh positive blood. That's the only scenario where anti-Rh antibodies will be formed. With the first time exposure, the immune system will get sensitized, I beg your pardon, and with subsequent exposures, the antibodies will be formed. So only in this one scenario you will find anti-Rh antibodies in the plasma. What is the scenario? Rh negative individual getting exposed to Rh antigen in the form of blood, either it's whole blood or packed cells, or an Rh negative mother bearing Rh positive child and getting exposed to that Rh antigen after the separation of placenta. So that's how a small topic which I wanted to explain. The second sentence of the Landsener's law applies only to the ABO blood group system, but not to the Rh and M and N and other blood group systems. Finally, let me just conclude by saying one small related concept. Very often I used to ask in the vivas to many students, what is the function of blood group antigens? Mark my words, I am asking, what is the function of blood group antigens? You see, any substance, any material in the body has some significance. So what's the significance of blood group antigens? Very often the students would answer that they are there so that we can group them into the different blood groups. Well, now we are grouping the individuals because we find different antigens, and it's not the other way around, that blood group antigens subserve the function of, they help us in grouping the human beings. In fact, it would have been better if all belong to just single antigen, all belong to the same group. It would be easy to give one person's blood to the other one. Then why these blood group antigens are present at all? So it has been found that blood group antigens present on the RBC membranes, some of them have some structural significance related to the some of the blood group antigens are known to provide structural integrity to the red cell membrane. Some other blood group antigens are known to be associated with the channels or pores in the RBC membranes. So blood group antigenic substances, they do have certain kind of functional role. Either they have certain structural standpoint for the red cell membrane, or functions in the form of being associated with the channel proteins or the pores in the RBC membranes. For instance, some of the blood group antigens are associated with the band 3 protein in the RBC membrane, chloride bicarbonate exchanger or anion exchanger as they call it. So that is really a function of the blood group antigens. Let me make it clear. I am asking about what is the purpose or what function is served by the blood group antigens. Okay, it's not so that we can categorize humans into blood group systems. No, they have certain functional role. So that is a small topic related to the blood group antigens.